Well, this morning, let me go back to 2 or 3 weeks ago. We saw all these good-looking kids working up along the beach, and we were just got here. Kurt and I were standing talking to Jack Taylor, and this good-looking man was standing there, and he was telling us what they were doing. But I said to Jack, "Who is that?" Jack says, "I don't know." Well, anyway, it was Keith Black, and we were happy to have his daughter here today tell you all what's happened with our beach and what she has done. And she's a terrific little gal, and we're so proud that she's part of Briny right now. And good morning, Mackenzie.
Good morning to you.
Tell us a little about yourself, Mackenzie.
Well, I'm currently in my sophomore year at Dreyfus School of the Arts, and I'm dual enrolling at FAU Pine Jog through the Civic Engagement through Environmental Service Learning class. And I had to put together a project to better the community and the environment.
What I did was remove a little over 300 square feet of beach napaca, an exotic invasive species of plants that was taking over the south dune of the town of Briny Breezes. Over the summer course, I became interested in the issues dealing with biodiversity, so I chose to address an issue of invasive species in the town. My goal for this project was to change the planting policy and practice of planting invasive species in the town of Briny Breezes. Before my project, there were no planting policies dealing with invasive species in the community.
Were you expecting it to be this much work when you came here?
I actually was not. This is very treacherous work. I was not expecting it to be this difficult.
Were some of those plants like poisonous, like weeds, or like not poison ivy, but something like that you pulled out?
Exotic invasive species are just basically non-native plants. And what they do is they over reproduce and they spread very easily and take over the native plants, especially the sea creeps.
I think you can see the result of this one invasive plant. If you go up towards the clubhouse, on the right-hand side, there's a section that was cleared out. That used to be sea grapes. So everything in there was killed by this invasive plant. That whole section was actually killed, everything underneath it, and you can see there's nothing left.
My goal was to remove 100% of the plants, but I didn't just want to remove them. I wanted to ensure that my hard work would last on and be sustainable. So I decided to change the town's policy and give them a set of rules to follow in the future.
Okay, yesterday you gave quite a large document to Ken Gross, the president of the Landscape Committee. Could you tell us what exactly that document was?
Well, it's the identification guide for invasive exotic species of the Florida Keys, and it's a 77-page PDF document that Christian brought to my attention. She sent over to me, and it identifies all of the current invasive species that are recognized from Category 1, 2, and 3, which are the highest level invasive species. And it includes color photos and just an identification guide for all of them. And then I gave it to the landscaping committee, so later when replanting or when working to extract more invasive species, we can then go in and you can check and make sure that the plants that will be planted are not invasive. This ensures that my project, removing the plants, is sustainable in the fact that there won't be more invasives planted again in the future. And then we could work on getting more of them out as we move along.
Over the course of working on this project, I met a lot of people who helped me. Paul Stewart on my right side in the interview was a huge help, along with Miss Christian Lambert from the EPA, who sent me lots of information about invasives and dune vegetation. I hit very few obstacles with my project as soon as I got started. The hardest part for me was deciding on a project. I used the community-based social marketing tools of communication and norms, making a very public project.
And I wanted to get the community involved by doing a project like getting rid of the plants and ripping them out. It was a very visual project. Everyone could see what was going on, and then people started asking me, and I got to meet a lot of people through questions and asking like, who I was and what I was doing.
I can imagine that person in Briny Breezes. Uh-oh, yeah.
And then that was the best part, was then meeting all of these people and then educating on the plants, because a lot of people didn't know what these plants were and what was going on, and that's what I enjoyed about this project the most.